Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and a warm welcome to the fifth edition of the European Startup Prize for Mobility. My name is Mariana Evenstein, and I am delighted to be co-hosting today's awards ceremony for Europe's biggest acceleration program for clean mobility startups. And I'm especially thrilled to be doing this together with Dan Somovitz, who is not only my co-host tonight, but as many of you know, he happens to be the managing director of the prize. So Dan, fantastic to share a stage with you again.
Thank you, Mariana. And for the first time, we're doing it here inside the European Parliament, and we're pleased to welcome a live audience here in Brussels, but also Brussels Times viewers who are watching us live online. We're lucky to have you, Mariana, anchor with Germany's international broadcaster DW. Thanks for coming all the way from Berlin to co-host this event with me. Not for the first time. Last time we did it was during COVID. We were on flat screens, and now we get you three-dimensional. And maybe one of the startups over there will find an interesting way to send you back to Berlin. You can teleport her or find a drone or a hyperloop, but we're about to find out.
I'm open for anything, guys. So, I'm just going to be watching to find out if there's a really innovative way for me to travel all the way back to Berlin. And I don't know if any of you did see this previous virtual version of the Startup Awards. I mean, it was kind of cool. We seem so giant, Dan. I don't know. Now you can see how small I am, like in real life. But to be honest, I actually much prefer to be here in person. I love having a live audience. We still have our virtual guests who are watching via the Brussels Times broadcast, but it just makes a really big difference to see people in real life and to also get to hear directly from our startups and all of our partners who happen to be Europe's political and business leadership in the field of mobility. So these personal connections really make all the difference, I think. And, we have today with us representatives from EU institutions. We have national authorities, we have multinational companies, and of course also philanthropies. So all the different members of this ecosystem are here in the flesh today, and I think that's the way it should be.
And one of these leaders is no other than the one who initiated and co-founded this prize, Karima Delli. Here she is, Chairwoman and Wonder Woman of the Transport Committee here in the European Parliament. Karima, thank you for inviting us for the House of European Democracy.
Hello, Karima.
Hello, everyone. Ooh,
We can hear you.
You have a strong voice.
welcome to the European Parliament. And if you know, is my house. Yes, five days per week is too much. But now is your house too. And when I say is your house too, that is to say, I believe today we are family together. We are family together because if you call it an ecosystem, I call it family because we are founder, partners who have always been there 6 years together. New partner who just joined us this year, and of course, our entrepreneurs and startups. Startups is your day. So, are you afraid? Yes. Why? Why? Today, for today, be calm, keep cool. Today, there no loser. Okay? Great. So, we are here to celebrate your innovative ideas. We celebrate your hard work. Yes, you say yes, hard work. Yes. How many years you work? Too many. Okay. Your capacity to change the world and turn mobility into a green and low carbon accessible service for everyone. And please, my dear friends, I want a round of applause for our startups. Thank you, really. They're diverse age. But we are also in a special moment. The context is not easy. And I would like to share with you two things very quickly. I know we have startups, colleagues, and friends. Those families were hurt in the massacres in Israel. I want to remind them of our displayed sympathy and solidarity. And the same for those who know innocent victims in Gaza. We are here, the Parliament. The Parliament is a house of the peace. That's the reason why I'm very glad to see you. And what is the second thing very important today? And I want to realize what we do is very important. We are waiting a new page of the European Parliament, but a new page of the European project. We cannot let the US and China to be leaders of the green innovation and the pride defend our industry, our sovereignty, our economy, our job, and our planet. That's the reason why I stop now, because it's a time now we leave politics away and let's make room for our speakers and startup. Let's enjoy our every evening together. And thank you, Marina. Thank you, Dan, because for this event, you have the most excellent, really excellent moderation. Thank you, really.
Thank you. Thank you, Karima. And thank you, Karima, for mentioning the crisis in the Middle East, because this is the highlight of the prize. It's also a highlight for me personally because I moderate and I have the privilege of producing it as well. And this year was more challenging than ever before. I have my family there. Mariana has her family there. One of the partners, as Karima was saying, had her family murdered. And there's an Israeli startup here that I'm sure it wasn't easy for them to come here as well. So these are challenging times.
Dan, and, as Karima said, this is not just an ecosystem, it's a family. So, I really appreciate your openness and also Karima's words. I'm sure there are more people who have connections to this region. It's all on our minds, it's all in our hearts. And I think it's safe to say that everybody here in this room and also watching shares a hope for better days in the future. And I have to say also what reassures me is, in fact, doing an event like this, because this is about people who are coming together, who are interested and committed to making the world better, right? In your own way, you're contributing to the planet becoming more inclusive, greener, and more livable for everybody. So, in speaking of livability, sustainability, there is one person, an EU leader, who's normally here in person. We know that, Dan, and he loves to greet our winners generally in person. He's the European Commission Executive Vice President, Maroš Šefčovič, and it just happens to be that he was not long ago appointed to head up the EU Green Deal. So all of this is interconnected, of course. And unfortunately, he had a last-minute commitment, so he can't be here right now. But he did send all of us a message. And let's have a listen.
Ladies and gentlemen, dear participants and jury members, thank you very much for taking part in the 5th edition of the European Startup Prize for Mobility, which is more popular than ever, having received more than 700 applications from 39 countries. When we kicked off the process back in March, I said I was looking forward to a true coming together of Europe's democracy and innovation. And I think that has come to pass. Unfortunately, I am unable to join you in person this year, but I wanted to take the opportunity to congratulate the winners who made it to the final ceremony. I truly appreciate the effort you have put into your work. Smart and sustainable mobility is a central element of the European Green Deal. Transport is one of the sectors where carbon emissions have increased compared to 1990 levels. Innovation and creative disruption are crucial to kick things into gear and provide more competitive alternatives to fossil-based transportation. We in the European Commission are doing what we can to encourage an environment conducive to nurturing such innovation. With the completion of the Fit for 55 legislation, we laid down a strong foundation for an accelerated uptake of alternative transportation. Our strategy for sustainable and smart mobility aims to put in place the right incentives to drive the transition. The Urban Mobility Framework sets out European guidance on how cities can cut emissions and improve mobility, including by introducing multimodal hubs and new digital solutions. But ultimately, we rely on entrepreneurs driving forward innovation, such as those of you here today, to champion this transition and make the breakthroughs we need. I would like to make a special mention of the Ukrainian tech category. A member of my team will deliver this prize on my behalf. I won't spoil the result, but I can assure you that the winner is highly deserving of this recognition. Despite Russia's brutal invasion, Ukraine continues to show incredible resilience through its leadership in innovation. I want to congratulate all the entrants for building on this talent, which will play a significant role in Ukraine's recovery and reconstruction. I hope to meet in person the winner of the Special Ukrainian Startup Award, as well as the overall winners in person, as I have done in the past. I value your contribution not only to Europe's economy and to our climate objectives, but also your ideas for EU policies. Thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoyed the ceremony.
This was Executive Vice President Maroš Šefčovič. Always keep in touch with your boss after you leave. It's always useful to call them back and ask for a message. That's mine. Other than vice presidents, we also have royalty. So His Serene Highness Prince Albert II of Monaco, who also tends to come to our events, couldn't make it this time. He's not just royalty, he also leads a global foundation dedicated to sustainability, which is very interesting for our community right here. And I'd like you to have a look at what he has to say with a stunning view.
Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, dear Karima Delli, dear winners of the 5th edition of the European Startup Prize for Mobility. I couldn't join you today as I have done in previous editions, but I was keen to show you my support and my admiration. I would like to thank Karima Delli, of course, and all the organizers of this prize, which since 2017 has encouraged, promoted, and increased awareness of innovative, original, and more importantly, worthwhile initiatives. I'd also like to thank the 17 partner institutions, too numerous to mention, but whose commitment is of particular value. And above all, I'd like to thank the winners of this 5th edition for the intelligence that they have demonstrated, for the efforts that they have deployed, and for the hope that they have generated. The mobility transition is undoubtedly an environmental imperative. We all agree with that, and there is no need for me to remind you of the devastation caused by fossil energy on the climate, on biodiversity, as well as on our health. However, I'd like to stress the importance of this transition in social, political, and cultural terms, in short, in human terms. Mobility is unlike any other area. It is a guarantee of openness to the world, of exchange, of freedom. It is the opportunity for each individual to break away from their own universe, to go and meet others, to connect with the world, provided that it is done responsibly and safely, with respect for everyone. That is why I'm concerned when there is talk of plans to limit our ability to travel based on an approach that would involve widespread confinement. And it is why I'm delighted to see promising initiatives such as yours and of the 700 candidates who have taken part in this prize being implemented. Initiatives capable of reconciling freedom and responsibility. I therefore hope that your startups will achieve the success they deserve, and I would add that it is of special interest to me as we have high ambitions in Monaco in this field. For close to 20 years, we have made the deployment of carbon-free mobility a priority. We have increased initiatives in this field, whether it be through financial incentives or through the development of shared mobility solutions, including a fleet of electrically powered cars and bikes available to users. These initiatives have proved to be extremely popular, with an average of 3,500 trips per month in shared cars and close to 60,000 by bike, for a population of 40,000, on top of which are the many visitors and commuters. And I should add that rechargeable electric and hybrid vehicles now represent close to 20% of Monaco's fleet, an annual increase of more than 20%, whilst the number of combustion vehicles has decreased over the past 3 years, as our public transportation system will be 100% electric by 2025. These figures are encouraging, of course, and position us among the good performers. But I know that we can do better. That is why I believe that your solutions could also be of use to us tomorrow. That is also why I was keen to send you this message today. Congratulations once again for your initiatives, which I hope will quickly meet with great success. Thank you.
And thank you, His Serene Highness. Karima, can we do the next event maybe over there in Monaco?
I know. It was beautiful.
We should go
Absolutely.
there. So for those of you who are joining us for the first time, just a few words about what you're about to see on stage today. We kicked off this edition at the French Ministry of Transport in Paris in April and received a record of over 700 applications. These were evaluated and reviewed by independent experts from across the continent who helped us shortlist our top 50 that we announced recently. These top 50 frontrunners then were interviewed by our jury, who jointly selected this year's top 10 startups.
Right. So it's important to explain these 10 are already this year's winners. So what we're going to do today is only to rank the top 4 among them who are going to get something a little bit extra, and that is a chance to get some consulting from the Roland Berger consultancy group. So again, everybody's already the winners, and now there's just a little bit extra up on top. And who those 4 will be depends partly on all of you. So you can still vote on the Startup Prize website if you haven't done so already, and decide which is your favorite startup. And then half of the vote is going to come from our audience, and the other half is going to come from our jury.
So jury, you don't go on that website. You have your own link. Nobody tried to hack that link. That's only for the jury. And in the end, we don't know ourselves who's going to be the top 4. It's going to happen live. The votes are open until the last pitch, and then we'll close and count them.
Yeah, so it'll be a surprise for us too.
And now, without further ado, let's have the transition to the pitches.
I'm ready. Are you?
Okay, so we broke them into 2 groups of 5.
That's right. Yeah. And we're going to have 1 round of 5 pitches. Then we're going to do something else. And then there's going to be the second group of 5. And just a note for everybody, this is in no particular order. So I can't even, it's not an alphabetical order. And there is also no further significance to the sequence of the startups. I think we just threw the names into a bag and pulled them out at random. And that's how we ordered them. So
they each have 3 minutes to present what it is that they're doing.
Yeah, and then the floor opens up and they disappear. No, don't worry. No, but 3 minutes. They will have a timer so that they can pace themselves, and that's the format.
You ready for the first one?
I think so.
The first one I haven't said hello to yet, but he should have a nice British accent, because Gavin White is the CEO of About Energy from the UK, which is enhancing battery development by providing high-quality data and modeling, but he will do a better job than I can to present. Floor is yours.
Gavin, welcome.
Cheers. Thank you. And yeah, sorry to disappoint. I actually have an Irish accent. But yes, my name's Gavin. I'm one of the co-founders and the CEO of About Energy. About Energy is a battery modeling company based out of London. And today I'm going to tell you a little bit about batteries. And we use batteries in everything from, we use batteries in everything from watches to mobile phones, laptops, but now even cars, airplanes, and spacecraft. And batteries offer us the opportunity to be sustainable, but it's not a given and it's not a default. And the battery industry has many challenges. And here's just a list from a company called Voltaic on some of them. And I don't expect you to read it quickly, but it highlights that actually the key resource that's missing for battery development is the people. There's not enough battery engineers to go around. And the second biggest issue is the data. Getting accurate, high quality, reliable data on different batteries to compare them is very, very challenging. So our solution to that is we're building up a database of lots of different commercially available cells. So these are batteries from Samsung, Panasonic, even Tesla, Molicel, etc. And we use our core IP, which is battery measurement, to create this database of battery digital models. And these models allow for the optimization of the battery cell, the battery pack, the charging infrastructure, etc. And people always ask us, why is this so difficult? Why are our big German automotive customers, like these household name customers, come into this tiny little startup in London to do this modeling? And I would say it's somewhat similar to in physics when you measure a black hole. So this was the first ever image taken of a black hole 2 years ago. And quite unsurprisingly, you don't just point your camera at the sky and take a picture of something that light doesn't leave. Instead, you have to measure all the galaxies that surround the black hole and then infer what's going on, like what's the missing piece. And when it comes to batteries, it's very similar. We measure the voltage, the temperature, the current, and we use that to infer what's going on inside. And we're able to do that because we spin out of two leading UK universities, Imperial College London, where I did my PhD, and the University of Birmingham, where my co-founder did his. And since then, we've licensed IP from other universities to be able to offer this now as a service. And the service we offer is actually to the whole industry. And it goes the whole way from the cell developers, such as Samsung, Panasonic, down to the pack designers, whether that's automotive, marine, rail, aerospace, down even to the control system. And already today, we actually have customers in most of these categories. We're a very deep fundamental technology supplier. And what we make are the fundamental tools that allow other people to develop battery technology. So thank you very much. My name's Gavin White from About Energy. It's been a pleasure to be here today. Thank you.
Fantastic. And with 8 seconds to spare. Well done. Thank you very much. Up next, our next startup is from Germany, and speaking is Alexander Sohl. He is the CEO of Me Energy, and the one-line description of this startup is that it offers off-grid fast charging stations as a service. So, Alexander, are you ready? The floor is yours. Welcome.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Alex, co-founder of Me Energy. Everybody's talking about electric cars, but if we really want to reduce emissions, we need to be talking about this. Reducing emissions in heavy vehicles, namely trucks. The challenge is not buying one of those, the challenge is more recharging one of those, because recharging them needs as much power as 50 households. So a 20-story building or one truck. And this is a huge problem for our power grid, because when we built it 100 years ago, nobody thought of that we need power stations in depots, on highways, or in parking lots. And extension of the grid is often really costly and takes a lot of time or is technically not feasible. And that is why we came up with something new. And that is off-grid charging. Some station you can just place simply anywhere and recharge any vehicle with 150 kilowatts. That is a truck in 30 minutes, 100 kilometers, or a van 400 kilometers. It has 4 megawatt hours of storage. It's enough to go from Brussels to Qatar in one fill. And it's always carbon neutral. Instead of batteries, we're using something else, and that is waste or bio-based liquids, methanol or ethanol. They have 20 times the energy density of a battery. We can rely on a huge partner network here in Europe for production and also for supply chain. So we don't rely on any energy imports. We are producing with our patented technology real green energy with less carbon emissions than any PV on any roof.
We now take this amazing technical machine and turn it into a product, and that is charging as a service. We can offer a pay-per-use model for 49 cents, including all hardware and service costs. So you just pay 49 cents and you have that amazing machine in front of your doorstep. But that's not enough because it's really, really profitable. If you only have one charge per day for a truck, it's profitable versus diesel. So there are no more excuses for you to buy a diesel truck next. We have a huge market for this. In Europe, we're missing 1 million fast charging points by 2030. And we always see the outlooks today because customers like Sixt, DPD, Total Energies, Mercedes, and MAN, they're all ordering our stations. So we started off with 1 million last year, and we now have a sales pipeline of 32 million up and coming. So with this first great independent charging station, we want to eradicate diesel from the equation. We want to remove all diesel trucks out in Europe, and you probably supporting us with this, but we're having a good quota. We're Mehr Energy. Vote for us if you want to get rid of diesel trucks. Thank you.
All right, well done. And from UK and Germany, we're now going to Norway. And I'm inviting Lars Christiansen, CEO at Wanda, enabling circular logistics. Yep. 3 minutes, the floor is yours.
Great to see you all here today. Before we start, I would like to see a raise of hands. How many of you would like to consume in a more sustainable way? Come on. All right, it's a tough question. All right, but anyway, the fact of the matter is that the way we consume today is in fact very far from sustainable. If you look at Europe, approximately 80% of greenhouse gas emissions can be derived from how we consume. The good news is it's possible to do something about that. The bad news is that we are people. So before we switch to sustainable solutions and options, we typically want them to be cheaper and as easy as the product and services that we use today. This is the problem that Wanda is addressing. We have built the world's first circular logistics and services platform. With this platform, we make it easy to manage used items. We make re-commerce as easy as e-commerce. On the platform, we offer multiple services, secondhand sales and buying. If you want to sell, for instance, a couch from your house, we will come home to you, pick up the couch, take it to our warehouse, take a picture, post it online, facilitate the transaction between you and the buyer, and deliver the couch home to the buyer, just as when they are using normal e-commerce services. We have partners that provide maintenance and repair services, fixing and taking care of your things. And we have warehousing, taking care of your things when you don't need them, making them available to others to use. All of these services are delivered with our fleet of electric vehicles to your doorstep. Sound good? Our customers love Wanda. We have a world-class Net Promoter Score from the ease and affordability of the services that we offer. And how are we doing? We're growing 2.3 times last year in terms of revenue and customer growth, doubling our customer lifetime value, and addressing a huge market of 160 billion worth in Europe alone. We are born in the Nordics, but raised to scale into Europe with our logistics platform that turned profitable this summer, proving the scalability of our business model. When we started out here today, you all said that you wanted to consume in a more sustainable way. With Wanda, you can. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you very much indeed, Lars. Oh, I think we need Dan's microphone on because he has something else in mind.
I do.
Good.
I just wanted to ask Mariana, if you wait
Yeah.
before the next one, I want to check
Okay.
the green room
Sure.
and see. We always like to compare ourselves to Eurovision. We do it like the Eurovision of tech.
Okay.
So let's check the ambience here in the green room. 3 have done, 7 more to go. The ones relieved looked a bit happier. How many of you have their mothers watching you right now? Well, not so many. Mine is probably. How was it? I'll start with you. How did you get here?
Oh, we need the microphone on,
Yeah, can we
please?
get the microphone on? Let's try now.
There we go. Is that better?
Yeah, there we go.
But yeah, got the Eurostar over from London today. It was a good trip. First
Karima,
time in Brussels. Haven't got chocolate yet, so I'll get some on the way out.
Karima, how many emissions is coming by train from the UK? It's okay, no? It's relatively efficient. I won't ask all the others so that we don't. All right, Mariana, let's go to the next one.
All right. So let's see. Up next is also from the UK. We have Danielle Walsh, who is the CEO of Clearly. And this startup uses AI to generate trip level emissions insights. So let's have a warm welcome, Danielle. Come on up.
Hello, I'm Danielle from Clearly. I'm actually going to go without slides today, so I hope my hands give the message. We all know now that Europe is leading when it comes to getting to net zero. And when it comes to the way we move ourselves around or the products that we need and desire, this is creating 25% of global emissions. Reaching the commitment to make our roads cleaner requires $1.75 trillion of annual commitment. What's clear then is that we need to have a method of sharing this cost. Done correctly, this truly is the biggest investment opportunity for us all. So how is it done? We call it trip level emission insights. We are in a world at the moment that's a very data-centric world. We can track vehicles, we can track charging infrastructures, smart lighting. We have internal data sets in terms of packages, where you're moving, contextual information. We also live in a data siloed world. And what is this preventing us to do is share this risk and share this return on getting to net zero. I'd like to tell you a story about my friend Sam. So Sam, he is running a very large fleet, 35,000 fleet. And he is in charge of running this fleet to get the goods to you, bottles of water and very needed supplies of food, not only into the factory, but out to your homes or supermarkets. Sam has the ability to track his vehicles. Fantastic for fleet management. He has a separate team that are looking around where the packages are going and what they're doing, all the size and the metrics. And a third system is telling him his assets, whether they're electric, whether they're diesel, whether they can be changed. To aggregate this up, he can meet the demand of management to say what is his overall emissions. What he cannot do is notice that he has a driver called Sally. Sally is always moving around the heavy bottles. She's switching vehicles every day, sometimes the diesel that's 20 years old and sometimes the electric. We have a supply chain issue. He doesn't know. He has another driver called Ben. Ben is not so great on tire pressure. He's also stopping and starting the whole time when he's driving. He doesn't know. His management has come to him and said, you have an X budget, place it somewhere in your grid in terms of where you're going to put it in your fleet. He doesn't really know how to. When we can have the ability to blend this data together, enhance it, and give a full view of carbon emissions on the trip level, Sam has the ability to see how to actually improve his operations daily, doing more business with less energy. Sam also knows how to assess when to switch out a tire, when to take a certain charging infrastructure, and when to upgrade the grid and how to do it. Furthermore, Sam has the ability to actually become the funder as a company. Sam can share that cost with his suppliers, with his customers, or even with his competitor. With trip level emissions, we have the ability to assess the right innovation, the right technology, the right asset, and also welcome the right funding. And that's what we do.
Thank you very much, Danielle. I know there was a slight glitch with your presentation, but trust me, you don't need slides. Your storytelling about Sam was absolutely perfect. Our fifth pitch, and for closing the first round of pitches is going to be with Karine Ebbinghaus, CEO of Elon Road, which offers charging infrastructure for all kinds of electrical vehicles coming all the way from Sweden. Karine, 3 minutes, the floor is yours.
Hi, my name is Karin Ebbinghaus. I'm from Elon Road, and we have nothing to do with Elon Musk, even though that's my really bad dad joke. Elon Road, it's a Musk. The Swedish word for electricity is just el. So we are what we called electricity on road, and we want you to be able to drive electric with the same freedom and flexibility that we are used to. Because it's time that we rethink and redesign how we think about transportation and society. And today, when we can stream music, we can stream energy. And that's what we do. And we know, talking to customers, to industries, to societies, that you want to electrify, but there's some really big hurdles because electrical vehicles are expensive. You need to charge them. That takes space and time. There must be a much easier way. And that's why we have developed our charging rails. Anyone played with Scalectic or Carrera kart track when you were little? We are building this in real size. We have developed charging rails that you can put on the ground, and no need to worry, they're not activated unless a vehicle drives over, sending an encrypted radio signal, activating only 1 meter at a time. And by that meter, we can transfer charging in 350 kilowatts, driving 100 kilometers an hour. So where do you need electrical roads? I would argue everywhere. I mean, our goal is that you can drive a truck or a car from Malmö to Madrid and not have to stop to charge. But we're building electrical roads in Sweden. We're starting in Paris. But we have also identified that closed loop areas like ports and mines, where you have the same area, the same kind of vehicles, and a huge need for uptime, that's where we make the most useful. So we can really help both fleets and countries to scale electrification being as resource efficient as possible, because a lot of science shows that if we can decrease battery sizes, and that is our ambition, so if you can drive and charge, you don't have to have so big batteries, we can lower the TCO and the carbon footprint. And of course, building a sustainable product also requires building a sustainable company. So besides having a hardware revenue, we also sell our software to be able to manage the power. And this would not be possible without the stellar team. We work very close with academia in Sweden and have expanded quite rapidly lately. So help us to save the world one road at a time.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Karin. We're about to transition to a roundtable with some of Europe's smartest people when it comes to mobility to hear what our partners think. We want to have a quick chat with the green room again while our colleagues are setting the stage.
I think that's a great idea. Yeah, let's get this mic on.
I actually have bad news for you, Mariana.
Uh-oh.
You and I are the only people in this room who are not allowed to vote. Everybody else can still vote on their favorite pitches. You don't get to vote. So I can ask you if you have a favorite, but you're not going to tell me the truth, I know.
I won't. The only thing I can say is that I'm thrilled to see, I feel that with every passing year, more and more women who are working in mobility.
And
this is a good thing because it's about time, I like to say, and we need more gender balance in all of these mobility companies. And I think the more we have that, the more innovative ideas we're going to have and the more solutions we will come up with.
So here's a fun fact. They do get points. The ones that are sitting here, they did get extra points if they show that they were either led by a woman or had a gender-balanced board. So these were some of the factors they were ranked on, of course, being a successful or promising company, but also their contribution to the economy, to inclusion, both on the passenger side, but also on their own company side.
So it seems to be working.
It seems to be working.
Fantastic. How are our furniture looking?
I think we're good.
I think so too.
I think
We have
we're
all of the furniture, the tables, the water. We're good to go.
All right. So
we'll take our seats and then we can invite our roundtable participants to join us.
Okay. So I'm glad to invite on stage Vice President of the European Investment Bank, Chris Peters. Please join us. Lionel Royon, Director of Development at VNF. That is the French Navigation Authority for Rivers. Maria Chavachidis, you know how to pronounce her name better than I do. Maria Chavachidis. You will correct me in a moment. CEO of EIT Urban Mobility. Good to finally meet you in person. Giorgio Travaini, Executive Director at Interim at Europe's Rail. And last but not least, where is she? Deria Gouran, Head of Innovations at the Autobahn GmbH. Where is Deria? You have microphones for everyone? Perfect.
I was just checking that we have enough for each member of our little roundtable, but it looks pretty promising. Wonderful. So everybody, thank you for joining us on the round stage for our round table. Even though we don't have a round table, we have a round stage. And if I may, I would love to begin with Chris Peters from the European Investment Bank.
Vice President.
How can the EIB actually support Europe to become a startup continent?
Thank you for the question. Also, thank you for having us in this very important parliament, most important parliament of the world, I can say. Now, the European Investment Bank, we speak about the European Investment Bank Group. That means we have the bank and we have the European Investment Fund. And we are very delighted, not only with this initiative, and once again, congratulations, and also for the entrepreneurs, congratulations, because we need you. Why do we need this kind of entrepreneurs? First of all, of course, we as European Investment Bank stimulate companies that are innovative, and they are innovative. Secondly, we have some different instruments for not only the big companies, because a lot of people are thinking the European Investment Bank, when I need money and it's less than 50 million euros, then I not go to the European Investment Bank. That's totally wrong. We also support startups, scale-ups, and so on, because we have the different instruments, and I come back to that. And thirdly, we are not only providing finance, capital for venture capital funds, also for small and medium-sized enterprises, we give also advice. And that are the three elements. And saying this, the most important element that I can say to answer your question is, we have a mission. We have a mission to make the European policy a reality and to finance what the European Commission, European Union is asking us. And what is the policy? Stimulate innovation, stimulate small and medium-sized enterprises. And we do that, first of all, to say we are a climate bank. We are stimulating investments that contribute to the Green Deal. Secondly, we stimulate companies and small companies and startups that innovate. We need innovation to reach the goals of in 2050, 2030. We need innovation. And certainly in transport, and certainly in electric vehicles and so on. And that's the reason why I'm so delighted. I've read, of course, all the entrepreneurs here in the room, but it's impressive. When we have no innovation, we shall not reach the goals. Now, saying this, and then I conclude, we have, as bank, European institution, we are an European institution, and also a non-profit bank. And I can tell you, we have the money. A lot of money, I can say. Last year, we financed 70 billion euros. That's a lot of money.
See, many people are now paying attention. They're waking up. There's a lot of money.
Certainly. You must be very attentive now, because it's about money. Money is important, but also the drive, entrepreneurship, to take risks. Because a banker, what is a banker doing? Is listening to you, say, you believe in your project. We also, and we have a discussion, who take the risk? You, with that you provide some money on your own pocket, but we shall support you to make your dream a reality. And that do we each day.
Thank you, Vice President. You see, he has your back, so make sure that you catch him at the cocktail also later. And also, thank you for the long-standing relationship we have, the European Startup Prize with the EIB. It started with your predecessor, Liliana Pavlova, Vice President. But I should also mention that the EIB has been scrutinizing our startups and then inviting them for demo days for potential investment and potential advisory. So we very much appreciate this partnership. Lionel, I'd like to move to you. So river mobility in France, as I mentioned, startups, where do they fit in? I mean, you are a new partner as opposed to the European Investment Bank. You are a new partner for us for this year. So what is the startups coming to your work?
Thanks, Dan. Thanks, Mariana, and thanks, Karima, for this event tonight. I'm very glad to be here for the first time. Well, inland waterways are part of the solution of the European solution to decrease our carbon production. By massification, we decrease from a factor 4 or 5 the carbon emission when we transport a ton. So that's great, but it's not enough. We have to go further. 2 years ago, we settled our innovation roadmap about around 7 issues. The issue were greening the fleet, well, especially the engines, dockside electric charging. We have seen some startup on this point. New production, alternative fuel production, and refueling also by HVO, BTL, or hydrogen. We are working to make sure that some of the plants of the production plants of these companies come nearby the waterways. Waste management, obviously autonomous boat also, and last of it, the new logistic solutions. Well, at the beginning, we start to say, okay, we will ask to this or this company, but very soon we see that we need to think out the box. We need company which are agile. We need to company with new point of view and new solution which can bring to us. And then startups, well, logically the solution for us.
We are here to help you find them. Yeah.
That's why we joined the European Startup Prize, and that's why we have each year a call on these 7 issues to work with a new startup.
Mariana?
Thank you very much for that. I'd like to turn now to Maria Tsavahidis, and just a note about the European Institute of Innovation and Technology. This was, of course, established with the goal of strengthening Europe's ability to innovate across many different types of sectors. And I know that at EIT Urban Mobility, that's just one part of this larger sort of organization. What you do is work with different ecosystems, and that this startup prize in fact serves as your European hub, so to speak. So can you tell us how these types of different synergies across so many ecosystems are helping to turn Europe into a startup continent? How important are these interconnections and synergies?
Yes, thank you. So we are an innovation ecosystem, if you will. So why is that important? And it has been mentioned. So we need innovation in mobility. So we could have said that 30 years ago as well. So we always need innovation. But why is it so important to support the startups now? So we've heard before from the commissioner. So the transport sector is the laggard of all the sectors in terms of CO2 reduction, but also there are other negative impacts on livability in cities, specifically people's health and so on. And we have not made enough progress in the past decades. On the contrary, it's become more severe in terms of the negative impact. So how can we now make a change fast enough? How can we scale innovative solutions fast enough? So we cannot continue the same way as we have before. So supporting the same, companies, doing the same stuff over and over again, it will not get us where we need to go. So these people over there, they are the warriors. And why do I say warriors? It's because transport is a really hard sector to innovate in and because it's a very local market. It's very fragmented. There are so many rules and regulations that you have to work with, and actually scaling and growing in Europe is very hard. And we saw in some of your pitches, you start somewhere in the Nordics and you want to go to other countries, you want to go to France and other countries, but how do you do that? And this is where we have the job as ecosystems to connect. So we need to connect the local, the national with the European level. And only if we do our job will we create the right conditions for you to access capital. I mean, you have deep pockets, but they also need, as you said, services. So who provides those services? So they need to get access to capital, access to market, access to knowledge, how to actually land in new markets, in new countries. And this is what we do, collaborating with. So we are the European ecosystem, but we have to actually connect the dots between the local and national ecosystems. So, for instance, we work in strategic alliances with VRID and MoveLab in France, which we consider one of the best mobility accelerators.
Our co-founders were also very happy to...
Yes, and we are very happy to work with you. And we are happy because we can support the startups in the best possible way. And so Karin is actually using the services in France to soft land her company there. We work with the Israeli A200 Impact accelerator now to support inclusive mobility entrepreneurs. So if we connect the dots, if we connect the ecosystems, then we can create this EU playing field that the startups need to grow and be successful in Europe. Because otherwise, as Karima said, we will let the US and we will let China lead.
It's also a way of, I suppose, pulling up, making people operate at the same speed, because I guess if one country is maybe on a faster path in one area, it's not helpful if their neighboring countries are not. So I guess having that broader view and the interconnectedness, because, borders are where they are, but people move across borders, they work across borders, they travel across borders, and certainly carbon emissions don't know borders. So if one country is doing well, we need to make sure that many other countries are also at the same level of sustainability.
And that's why we're enjoying having European institutions who work across borders and multinational companies that work across borders. And that's why we're here in the European Parliament. It's not the easiest place to produce the ceremony in, I can tell you that, but it's a very symbolic place for us because it's a place that connects the different countries together. I'd like to turn to Giorgio. So Maria just said that mobility is not an easy field of innovation. And I have a feeling that when it comes to rail, innovation might be even more difficult. Am I correct in that? I mean, how do you manage to go in that sector, which is perceived? I mean, it's one of the oldest means of transport that is still around. Correct me if I'm wrong. Well, good news, some at least of our startups actually used it to come here today. Yeah. But how do you at Europe's Rail Joint Undertaking make sure that more innovation is coming on rail?
Thank you, Dan. First of all, let me say that I'm also very much delighted to be here in the European Parliament because I agree with what the chairwoman of the Transport Committee said. This is the house of peace, and it's the house also of the inclusiveness, and this is also what joining us all together is meant to do. And I'm really happy to be here because this is also my ecosystem, or as it was said before, my family. Why? Because, well, rail is indeed perceived as a non-innovator, very difficult to market, maybe to enter for the innovator. But I want to say that rail is also is also our past and present and future, really. mobility and the transport mode. And why I'm saying this? Because even though rail is an older transport mode, like you have said, it started with innovating. What it has innovated? Well, it has connected people, it has connected cities, it has connected countries and businesses for longer distance than what before was possible with horses. And therefore, it created growth, it created trades. But then in the present, it's still very much a valid transport mode. You're already taking it, is playing a crucial role in our daily life. I think a lot of us are taking daily the train. It provides a safe environment, really to move, and an efficient one. Because here the innovation for the present is the efficiency. Which type of efficiency? The energy. So rail has already been electrified, and it has a very low friction, and therefore it consumes a lot less energy. So we need to capitalize on that. So at European Union level, we're talking of 0.5% of the total CO2 emission of transport. But of course, there is much more that we can do. And I think we need to realize, and this event, it's also calling upon it, that we are in a crisis mode in terms of CO2 emission. The climate change, it's real. And the European Union has recognized it. So we have the Green Deal, obviously, and the sustainable and smart mobility strategy that was already mentioned before. And we really need to give the example and make the European continent by 2050 the climate neutral continent. And so it's the future that now we need to work upon. And I think it's, well, rail will really shine, not shy. Why? Because we can use the digital technology to make sure that rail really become the backbone of a mobility transport. And why this? Because rail is a system where you can really play with digitalization, with automation, with making sure that the system is predictable, the system is a network already. So it's actually the perfect house for startup, and I'm really asking you, startup, to shake a bit the house. We have, an established stakeholders, a market that with also bigger players that are part of Europe's rail. But now you can come in, I think mainly thanks to the digitalization, and shake it up. And why to shake it up? Again, to make sure that we can create overall in Europe, a transport system that contributes to prosperity, inclusiveness, and sustainability. And just to keep you still interested, we also have a little bit of money. And this time is for research and innovation. So you can see the complementarity between all of us. And I invite you to look to the European Rails program. We have launched a call for proposal. It's an open program where everybody can contribute to, but it's also a system where you can access and discuss with small, big players all together. So the call deadline is the 7th of February. You can watch it on our website. And again, I'm really honored today to contribute to this fantastic event.
Thank you. So, Marianne, we had river mobility, we've had now rail. And the last one on your round?
Road, river, and rail. Well, listen, even if rail travel is maybe perceived as being the more ecological, type of transport, the reality is that as cities continue to grow, we are still seeing a growth in the number of cars and trucks and other motorized vehicles on roads. And this is not changing yet, at least. I mean, traffic, despite what we know about CO2 emissions, despite all the progress that is being made to electrify cars and trucks, roads are still incredibly important, not just to transport people, but also to transport goods. There are still many places of the world that don't have such an intricate rail system like perhaps Europe does. So roads play still a very, very important part. And at least I know for sure in the country where I have lived for more than 20 years in Germany, Germans love their cars. They love their Autobahn. So if I may just turn finally to Daria Guran from Die Autobahn, the famous, infamous German highway system. Legends, all sorts of legends circulate about Die Autobahn, how you can drive as fast as you want. Well, not exactly. But maybe, Daria, you can tell us a bit more about that. There are a lot of debates also in Germany about what the Autobahn should be like, and maybe you can share a little bit about that with us, and also what does innovation mean for Die Autobahn, such a large highway system in a major industrial country like Germany?
Yes, of course. Thank you. Thank you for that. Actually, our role is quite similar to the ones of the startups in the ecosystem. Every time the industry decides to have some kind of technology, for example, in the EV charging of trucks, things that we hear is like, oh, here's the technology, please put it on your infrastructure. But maybe it doesn't work that way. Because if you think of the grid that you need on the places where you put this EV charging, sometimes it takes you years, 10, 15, sometimes 20 years to get the grid on this place. So what we learned in the years of experience that we now have is that we have to take our voice and tell how important the roads, the Autobahn, the highways are for the for the industry as well. And that is where we can feel what startups, which role they have in this whole ecosystem. And that is also what is my message. It's good to be, from the politic point of view, to be on the railroad and rail is the future, but we won't make it without the roads. It won't work out. And that is what we have to have in mind. And that is also where we have our challenges, because the green transition is also part of our work. And if we want electric cars on the roads, on the highways in the future, it won't work out without the infrastructure.
So your new federal agency, to go back to the question, so to give her a break, I mean, they haven't been there for a long time, right? Am I correct? It's the new federal agency, the German federal agency.
Exactly.
And where does the innovation then go in your work with startups at this new establishment?
What we do is we love to be part of this kind of platforms and systems, because it gives us the possibility and opportunity to be to show ourselves and also to get in touch with startups.
Yeah.
What is really interesting is that Me Energy and we have history. Yeah, so it's just good to see that at the end everything comes together. And doing innovation in this kind of sector, in infrastructure, is not working if you do it alone. So that is what also is part or goal of this kind of ecosystem. And yeah, so we hope to innovate together in the future.
Yes. And on that note, Mariana, I suggest, because we need to do it together and find some more innovation on that side of the room, that we thank this first roundtable of partners and experts. Let's give them a round of applause.
Many thanks indeed.
And correct me if I'm wrong, we're moving to the next round of pitches.
I think we should move to the next round of pitches. So many thanks indeed to all of our experts. I think it's so valuable to hear the different perspectives, the different categories, because again, like we notice time and time again, there won't be solutions unless we look at the bigger picture and how all the different pieces fit together. We cannot have rail without roads. We cannot have roads without rail.
You're so diplomatic with all our sectors and all our partners, but thank you for saying that.
We have to.
Okay, I think we're ready. You want to announce?
Yes. So let's just see. Are we ready? Are all our startups ready for the next round of pitches?
Well, at least one needs to be. The next one is pitching? I think so.
Okay, so next on my list, at least, is a startup from a very small country, but with very big ambitions. So we have from Luxembourg, Damien Garot, who's the director at Stellar, which ensures the best internet experience for cars, buses, and trucks. Look forward to your pitch. Welcome to the stage.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. I'm very happy to be here. I'm Damien. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Stellar. And I have two questions for you. Raise your hand if you ever tried a video call, a Zoom, a FaceTime in the back of a car or on a train.
You cannot. It's
Okay. Keep your hand up if you ever succeeded. That's right. It doesn't work. And there is a stat for that. 40% of our European highways suffer from poor internet. You may see 4G or 5G written on your phone, but you won't be able to have that video call. And this is a complete roadblock for all the application of the mobility sector that do depend on connectivity, starting with sustainable mobility. If we want to have teleoperated shuttles in the countryside, we do need good mobility, connectivity. If we want to sync traffic lights with cars so that we can reduce the carbon footprint by up to 45%, we need good connectivity. And that's the mission of Stellar. We are here to bring the digital life to vehicles and to passengers. Basically, a perfect internet on all roads. So how do we do it? Well, simply put, we have a software that breaks the silos between cellular networks, Wi-Fi networks, and satellite networks. So imagine yourself on a ride between a city center and the countryside. In the city center, you should be okay, plenty of 5G. But when you're on the road now, our software kicks in and knows exactly where the cellular networks are good and not, and automatically switches to the best one each time seamlessly. When you go to the charging station, well, the software will connect to the Wi-Fi, so it's cheaper. And if you hit an area without any Wi-Fi, without any cellular, well, this is where satellite can help. The most beautiful thing of all this is that our software is compatible with existing hardware, existing vehicles. So that's why we have many demonstrations with car manufacturers, just like this picture. And talking about this picture, another picture here. This is the first car that connects to Wi-Fi, cellular, and satellite seamlessly. It's European. We took the CEO of a famous car manufacturer last August for a spin. He was having a video call with his colleagues, and guess what? It was perfect all the way through, thanks to Stellar. In conclusions, we all know that electrification is the current revolution of the mobility sector, but we also know that China and the US are preparing the next revolution, the next race, connected vehicles. And this is where Stellar comes in to help Europe win that race. Thank you.
Thank you, Damien. I remind you that you can still vote. So if we could get the website behind, right? So whether you're watching us online, if you're watching us on Facebook, if you're watching us on the Facebook page of the Brussels Times, this is the website where you can go to and vote on. From Luxembourg to neighboring France, we're going to Hachem Najjar, CEO of Anywhere, which provides turnkey hydrogen solutions. The floor is yours, Hachem.
Thank you very much. I'm so proud to be here today with you. So Anywhere has been created in 2021. We are a team now, not 17 anymore, but 20 people. The three co-founders, you see, we have Laurence, Chantal, and myself. Two of us are coming from the energy companies, Shell. Personally, I've been working on the hydrogen space for 10 years, building the whole hydrogen infrastructure for Shell in Europe, but also in California. And that's how we created this company. And Laurence has been working also on hydrogen, and Chantal has been deploying clean energies as well at VNF, for instance, or others like jet fuels. So what do? We develop autonomous and compact hydrogen stations to be able to distribute green hydrogen produced through electrolyzers and distributed through a compact and autonomous station. And we are going to serve any kind of mobility. So we can serve 350 bar and 700 bars. And that helps, for instance, light-duty vehicles, taxi fleets, freights, ships, trains, railways, hopefully next in the future. So since the creation of the company, we've done significant achievements. I mean, we've raised 5 million as a pre-seed, a lot of employees. We had many awards, Propulse, subsidies from BPI, France, ADEME, etc., etc. But you see, there is a big problem today with hydrogen. There is a big hype around hydrogen, but the problem is that, and you see that here, the map, there is a black hole. I mean, there are only stations today, mainly in Germany, in the Autobahn. Thank you very much. Thanks to the joint venture H2 Mobility Germany, but in the rest of Europe and probably in the world, there are no stations. So our goal is to try to fill the gap. The vehicles are coming, right? Okay, but it misses something. Today, hydrogen refueling stations is very expensive. It costs a lot to build a hydrogen station. It takes years. Takes years to put on electrolyzers. As you said, to have the infrastructure grid to bring the electricity at the station takes years. So that's why we deployed this station. We are going to produce hydrogen on site. We are going to compress it and distribute it on site in a container, and it can be deployed very fast in less than 6 months. So right now we have deployed already 2 stations. We are going to serve taxi fleets, aviation, OEMs, and here are examples of stations. So you see that, for instance, on the right side, it's at Bosch in Germany. This is in France. This is in a vineyard. So we try to serve any kind of applications. Thank you so much. I'm so proud to be here, and I hope you're gonna vote for us.
Thank you very much indeed. We go from France to Finland, and our next startup is being presented by Mikko Ampuja. He is the Chief Business Development and founder at Vapaus. Did I pronounce that correctly?
Perfect. Thank you.
Wow, my Finnish is not so great, but welcome, Mikko.
Thank you. So my name is Mikko Ampuja. I'm founder of Vapaus, and I'm the bicycle guy. So let's continue with the poll. Who came with a bicycle today? Hey, fantastic. Some people did. So the story of Vapaus actually started in 2017 when my daughter was born. And I really thought that this girl is going to ask me some tough questions in 20 years, like, Dad, what did you do during the climate crisis? So here we are. We saw the bicycle as a really good solution to many of the problems that we have today in the world. First of all, the health of the people and the health of the planet. And we plan to, during the next decade, we plan to create 1 million new cyclists in the world. And this year we have reached 30 million euros in revenues. So we're definitely in a good start. So we provide actually benefit bicycles. So benefit bicycle is like a company car, but obviously it's better. So it's cheaper, it's good for the planet, and it's good for the good for the health of the person as well. And it's also stated very well in the European Declaration on Cycling. Thank you actually for creating this. It was like fantastic news, because we all know that electrifying cars will only take us halfway. We need to increase the amount of cycling and walking as well. And cycling has so many like fantastic benefits, but I think the best thing about it is the energy that it brings to your day. When you start your day with the fresh air, feeling free while commuting instead of sitting in the traffic, like I did actually this morning. I started at 3 a.m. and cycled to the railway station. So I really love the feeling that it brings to your day. And what we do is that we provide everything that you really need for getting your employees cycling. So we basically take away the risk. There's no cost for the employer. the service is fully digital. There's no hassle, there's no administrative burden. And our circular economy business model makes it perfect for your ESG goals as well. And we can really see the positive impact in our customers' lives. They are cycling more and driving less, which is fantastic. And as the service packages basically start from zero setup and zero monthly costs, there's really no excuses for the employers not to get started with Vapaus. And for the employees, we definitely have your dream bikes available, or you can also choose a used bike from our own inventory and our pre-cycled shop. So, if you think that the world deserves more cycling, make a good move and join the ride with Vapaus. Thank you.
Right on time. Thank you very much. And now we go back to France and to Jean-Michel Estibals, who is the co-founder at Railway. And the one-line description of this startup is that it leverages data for efficient rail maintenance. So welcome, and the floor is yours.
Railway, actually the full pitch is in the name. It's rail with AI. Hello, I'm Jean-Michel Estibal, the co-founder and president of Railway. Our goal is to make rail infrastructure maintenance more efficient. There is currently a huge momentum to move away from high carbon transportation, such as road and plane, to low carbon transportation, such as the train. However, we are facing some roadblock on the way. The first one is rail transportation might not be at the expected level of service. Keep in mind that over 10% of the train in Europe are either late or cancelled. 45% of them because of infrastructure issue. The social cost in France alone associated to this disruption is 1.5 billion euro a year. 2, infrastructure are aging. In Europe, over 30 years old. 3, maintenance is still done either preventive or corrective, and in both cases, it's not efficient. On the other hand, we never had so many data. We have data available from IoT, sensor, inspection wagon. However, less than 20% of this data are actually being used. Also, analysis are done by segment or subsegment, not as a whole. Our value proposition as Railway is pretty simple. Leveraging all available data to provide 360 degrees view and analysis with contextualization, meaning what's the link between traffic, bridges, tunnels, ballast geometry, geology, weather, and so on and so on. That's where value is. And also to provide predictive maintenance plan. Why Railway? We started the adventure 2 years ago. We are now 17 with a double DNA, which is unique. Half of the team is coming from the data AI side. Half of the team is coming from the rail infrastructure management side. It's also a unique competitive advantage, especially as the competition is not structured yet. And we believe we have about a 3 years window of opportunity in front of us to build critical mass. Currently, we have operation in France and in Spain. We customer implemented. And we also are an innovation-driven company, as over 4,000 man-days of pure R&D have been already invested into the project. Keep in mind that there is a strong environmental and social aspect out of it. We are now ready to scale up at European level, and we need your support. Thank you for your attention.
Merci beaucoup, Jean-Michel. Let me just remind the audience, you can still vote. I'm being told that 2,400 people have already voted online. Jury, don't forget, you also have the QR codes. I know you want to hear all 10, but make sure that you also vote so that we get the other 50% of the votes. And to conclude this round of 10 winning startups, the last one to pitch today is Roy Friedman, CEO and CRO at C2A. There are lots of C's. You're CEO and CRO at C2A Security from Israel, streamlining cybersecurity in the automotive industry. בבקשה.
Hello, everyone. It's an honor to be here today at the European Parliament. I'm Roy Friedman. I'm the CEO of C2A Security. And let's talk a bit about this revolution that we are witnessing right now, the sustainable mobility revolution. It's something amazing that can change our planet, but it is actually in danger today. Because in order to make our planet sustainable, we need cybersecurity. And in fact, right now what we are seeing is that there are adverse effects of cybersecurity already happening in the clean mobility space, and it ranges in the millions and millions of dollars, and this is something that needs to change. Now, the challenge of mobility companies today is actually to manage software at scale, to be able to release software faster, and to be able to adhere to standards and regulations that are right now happening in Europe, already in place, and in the future in China and other companies as well. So, what is the market opportunity? With every challenge comes an opportunity, right? So, first of all, mobility as a software business is something that is changing our world and actually gives the opportunity for mobility companies to change and reinvent their business model from selling leather seats to selling software features. And that's a $150 billion market potential. And for companies like C2A Security, we're talking about selling or managing cybersecurity and compliance at scale. And that gives us a market opportunity of serviceable and addressable market of almost $8 billion. What is our solution? Our solution is called EVSec. It's a cybersecurity DevOps and automation platform that enables our companies that are using us for fast identification and mitigation of vulnerabilities, automation of the product security lifecycle, and in addition, the ability to manage a multi-vendor ecosystem, one of the most complex in the world right now, which is electric vehicles and charging infrastructure. We empower our customers to be able to manage security and compliance and look at the vehicle, its components, and charging infrastructure in a more holistic way. We have a stellar team of rock stars that are both automotive and IT experts, and our founder, Michael Dick, sold his last company for $5 billion to Cisco. Right now is an inflection point for us. We won multiple recognitions and awards, including this honor today. We have multiple customers in like Marelli, Valeo, and others. And please remember, cybersecurity is an enabler for a more sustainable planet. Thank you very much. Allow me as an Israeli to say a couple of words because I'm the only Israeli here. We pray for peace. We pray for innocent lives everywhere. And all we want to do is bring light and innovation to the world. That's all. Thank you.
Inshallah. So this was the last, on that note, this was the last 10th pitch of our 10 winning startups. As they say on Eurovision, Europe, stop voting. We're now closing the popular vote.
Yep,
So
everybody had his chance or her chance.
Had a chance. Now we're closing that chance. Jury, please make sure that you do. I see them on their phones, so they are voting. What are we doing next, Mariana?
I think we're going to take a few moments to get, again, a little bit deeper into issues that are important to this entire ecosystem. We know that, the climate crisis requires everybody to roll up their sleeves. And we had first a roundtable where we heard the perspective from the public sector. So now we'd like to get the take also from the private sector. So I think we need to refill some glasses for our speakers.
And then maybe we can get a note for the next session.
Okay, so we see our guests already on the big board. We can introduce them. So if you see your picture and your name, please.
Alban Maigret, Head of Innovation and Corporate Ventures at Groupe ADP. Giacomo Carelli, CEO of Crédit Agricole Autobank. Jean Dete, Group Public Affairs Directors at the Europcar Mobility Group. And Vanessa, I'm not sure, is it Govi or Jovi? Govi. Chief Innovation Officer at Ivans. Thank you for being with us. Yes.
We have more
I think we have one chair extra now.
So we have more than one chair. Do we have one chair extra? Oh, here it
No,
comes.
sorry. We're good?
I think, yeah, we have one chair extra. Okay, better to have an extra chair than not enough chairs.
That is true.
So, if nobody minds, I would love to begin with Abba Negre from the group ADP, which is Aéroports de Paris. And I understand that this company is not just in Paris, but in fact operates many, many international airports, which are exceedingly complex undertakings with a lot of moving pieces, a lot of services, a lot of vehicles, a lot of things going on. So when we think about clean innovation for airports, what are the main challenges and how do you go about tackling those?
So thanks a lot for having us, and thanks for organizing the event. So I think for us, the clean innovation challenge is about working on different levels, on 3 levels. I mean, we're working long term, making sure that in the future we'll have cleaner airplanes, which means working on hydrogen and working on e-fuel, which are levers for really the long term and the future. But it's really complex. We have to work with whole aviation ecosystem. It's regulation, it's infrastructure, it's a lot of different things. So that's the first action we can make. We are investing in funds that finance hydrogen infrastructure or that finance sustainable aviation fuel development and technology bricks to achieve this goal. But I would say this is for the future and this is for long-term vision. Then the second way we can achieve cleaner innovation in airports, working midterms, then it's also complex. It's also about regulation, but it's working on operational levers on our platform, on our premises. For instance, building new types of airports that have a less carbon footprint, or even working with the airlines on making sure the airplanes will, when they are on the ground, work only on one engine instead of 2, which will reduce very drastically the carbon footprint of aviation on the ground. Again, it's working on the ecosystem. It's not direct impact of the airport. It's complex, but it's for the midterm. And short term, and this is why we're here today, and we are very happy to work also on mobility and to hear and meet the different entrepreneurs here. Working on mobility on top of biodiversity is really key because for us, that's direct impact we can have on our scope 3 emissions or intra-platforms emission. When you take the whole customer journey from town to the plane, you come by car very often to the airport. How we make sure as an airport company that people use public transportation is very important and challenging as well. How you make sure that we have sufficient recharge infrastructure in the airport for people that will use other types of mobility. How we can have also bikes. How we welcome bikes on the airport. This is something very challenging, and we want to make sure that, for instance, in Orly, which have Orly Airport, the second largest airport in Paris, has very attractive and net zero emission in 2030. They will need this kind of solution, but also for our direct employees and the employees of Aéroports de Paris, but also the employees of all the subcontractors and all the partners working on the platform. We need to offer some mobility ground solutions, and this is where we can have some very interesting solution here.
Mariana, ready next time when you check in your luggage, you put it on a cargo bike and somebody will pedal it to the plane? So maybe there's something to look forward to.
Well, that is something that I think about, just how many utility vehicles are used at airports. It's not just the planes, it's not just the people arriving and departing from the airport in taxis or trains or whatever it is, but on a day-to-day basis, just to bring the trash away or to bring the fuel. Like, these are all vehicles that are on the roads covering kilometers and kilometers, and I'm sure there's still plenty of room for making those types of utility vehicles more sustainable and more efficient. Maybe also just about what times they leave or how quickly or what the path is through the airports, like all of these things. And I think innovation can offer a lot of very important and interesting solutions.
I have a feeling you're going to pay more attention on your flight tomorrow when you're flying back to Berlin. You'll be watching everything now, seeing how sustainable the Brussels airport
Absolutely.
is. Mr. Carelli, so you, Crédit Agricole, has created recently a new bank, Auto Bank, which is dedicated for only sustainable mobility. Where does your bank meet the Clean Innovation Challenge? What does it mean for you as a bank?
Well, first of all, I have to say we're very glad to participate in a startup prize program because we are startup ourselves.
And you joined us this year, this edition. You're a new partner.
Correct. And we know exactly how it feels because we, even if we have 100 years of history, we were born as a captive 100 years ago. At the time, there were more animal-drawn vehicles, and the revolution was making mass motorization and making internal combustion vehicle available to everybody. Well, today, our challenge now that we have become independent, part of the Crédit Agricole group, is make sustainable green mobility available to everybody. So I think at this stage, we are living a massive revolution, probably similar to the one we lived 100 years ago. The technology has completely changed. We are technology neutral, but we cannot disregard the fact that already today, in the first 9 months of the year, 15% of vehicles sold in Europe, plus EFTA and UK, electric. So how can we make these vehicles more accessible? We are talking about a business around the world that is already worth 300 billion and is expected in 10 years' time to be worth 3 trillions. So I think this is going to be the new normal. However, it's not yet accessible to every pocket. I think we were the first to launch, for instance, in France, the leasing social with 99 euro for an electric car per month. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to make it more accessible through new products. We have created within Crédit Agricole Auto Bank a division that is devoted to mobility only. It's called Drivalia. The slogan is rent, lease, subscribe, and share. So with the same fleet, mobility means from 1 minute to a lifetime. Because we believe that usership is definitely going to replace ownership thanks to the energy transition. And so this is another challenge for us. A third very important challenge is making sure that whatever we do today is sustainable, so we can tell the story to our kids and we can be here in 10 years' time. And most probably, in order to do that, we need to make sure that in the long run, we embrace the digital challenge. Our bank is fully digital. We do not have branches. It doesn't mean that banks having branches are wrong, but in our industry, you cannot have branches. You have to be extremely seamless. The customer journey has to be 100% digital.
Do you have an office?
Well, not really. But we certainly share offices with other companies of the group. We do have our own offices, but we work also from home. And to be honest with you, we believe that our customer one day will no longer own a car. And therefore we have shops, we call them mobility stores, where we make multiple vehicles available through multiple mobility means.
Mm-hmm.
And I mentioned before, rent, lease, subscribe, and share. So I think our goal is to make vehicles accessible anytime, anywhere, and in an affordable way.
Brilliant.
Great. So, Jeanne Dete, I'd like to turn to you now. We understand that you've been with this prize since the very beginning. So you've been a part of it from the first edition. So maybe you have the perspective of being able to look back over the years at how things have changed, how things have evolved. When you look at what's happened since 2018, what stands out for you?
It is amazing.
Thank you for saying that.
It is amazing because we were a startup. And when I say we, as Karima said, we are a family because we are partners since a long time and we are working together. But we succeeded where most of companies are failing. We succeeded to grow, to incorporate new partners, while keeping a fresh mindset who are open mind, will keep pushing, keep challenging the status quo. And this is where, in my opinion, we can be proud in what we achieved.
You're talking about the prize?
Yes.
Okay.
Saying that, as we are the European Parliament, we are realizing that if not everything, a lot is around data. And what we could do is to try to push harder the Parliament, the European Commission, to move quicker. I'm thinking about the MDMS. I am thinking to exchange of data. I'm thinking to the in-vehicle data access regulation. A lot of things that are not moving quick enough and that are preventing us on all the startup to deliver a better result, better goal, better.
If you speak loud enough, I hear that the office of the president, Metsola, we were asked not to make too much noise so that she can work. But if you now speak loud enough, she can probably hear you.
So we are waiting for you. No, but it's great, and as everybody said, I'm proud that I've been there since the beginning, and I can only say that this is a fantastic opportunity for you startup, and the value of winning is higher than what you are expecting.
Thank you very much. And I should also mention that all the different companies and partners and institutions that you see on stage are not just here to give us their insight as experts, but they're also here to scout for startups. And they're using basically the database of the applications. When you applied, you checked which companies of our partners you're interested in. So it's all about creating the synergies and making sure that the startups and the organizations are finding each other and can do meaningful things together. And with that, I'd like to turn to you, Vanessa. So you joined us for this year. You're new yourselves because you are basically now the new brand of Ivans is the merger between between ALD Automotive and LeasePlan. And now the new brand is Ivans. So how is this new merged company going to face this clean innovation challenge?
So first of all, thank you. Thank you for inviting us. We are super proud to be there. It's our first year. We recently joined the big family of the European Startup Prize, and we are really happy to be there today. So talking about ALD Automotive LeasePlan, so we are the global leader in the car leasing industry. And with a fleet of more than 3 million cars. So we know, we are very conscious that we have a big responsibility and a big role to play in the carbon emission, reducing carbon emissions. And with Avans, actually, the ambition is to be the global leader in sustainable mobility and go beyond cars and reimagine mobility to make it more seamless, to make it more sustainable, obviously, for more people and in more ways, more places than ever before. And we are very aware that we cannot achieve that alone. So that's why it's so important for us to be part of that big family and to build that ecosystem. I think that partnering is part of the key competence if we want to be successful. Partnering obviously with other corporates, but with startups, and leverage on startups and their creativity, their tech capabilities to develop together, collaborating around building innovative solutions to together build a more sustainable world. So that's why we are so happy to be there this year. It's what you said, it's all about synergies, all about collaboration, and all about working together, joining forces to build a better world.
Fantastic. And congratulations on your new brand. Now I have an awkward question. Have you all voted? Because I'm being told in my ear that about half the jury still haven't voted. So if any jury members are struggling with our online platform, please find one of the assistants or the technical staff, because we are counting, as you are speaking, the colleagues over there on the balcony and the tribune are counting the votes, and they need all of them. So any jury members, please make sure that you find your way, that you vote, and if not, then you find one of my colleagues and make sure that your votes are coming in. They're getting stressed up there. Mariana, anything else before we move on?
I think we've covered a lot of ground, Dan.
Fantastic. So I suggest that we, unless you want to jump in and add anything, I suggest that we wrap up this second roundtable.
Yeah, and if they're too shy to admit that they haven't voted, here's their chance to quickly leave the stage and get out their smartphones and submit their votes. So we'll give them the time to do that.
Yep.
So thank you so much for all of your insights. Great to hear so many perspectives. right, everybody, you can see something is happening on the stage. We are getting ready to announce the results of our vote, but we're not quite ready to do that yet.
Because
we have... What do we have, Dan?
A surprise.
We do.
So other than the top 10, we also have some special category awards.
We do.
A bunch of them.
More than a dozen, as it turns out, because our partner organizations decided it was not enough just to honor the top 10 this year. We also have these special individual awards for specific categories.
Exactly. So they are also from the pool of applicants, but they happen to be different and more dedicated to some of the needs of our partners. And I suggest that if we are ready, we start with the first category. And for the first category, we're calling on whom? You're better in pronouncing her name.
Yes, I love Greek names. Maria Tsavahidis. But you have to... So Maria, the CEO at EIT Urban Mobility, she will be presenting the special award for urban mobility.
Is it on?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes. So, the winner of the special award for urban mobility was selected because they have expanded our vision of what urban mobility is. So, from our idea that it's road, rail, to actually adding the water, the inland waterways, and their success from a research at the Norwegian University of Science to actually launching the first autonomous electric ferry in Stockholm earlier this year is a testament to their excellence and genuine commitment to driving impact. So with much pleasure, I hand this award to Zibas.
Zibas, are you here with us? Congratulations. Maybe look at the camera so you can take a picture as well. Thank you very much.
Okay. Our next award, which will be delivered by Lionel Rouillon, the Director of Development at VNF, it will be for river mobility. So let me find that.
So for this River Mobility Prize, I'm glad to give this prize to a startup. Yes?
No, I'm just holding it for you.
For a startup for the comprehensive autonomy solution on the autonomous boat. This kind of innovation help us to bring more competitiveness on the fleet, clearly, and decrease the cost of the kilometer of the fleet, and help us to bring more modal shift to the inland waterways. So I'm glad to announce that we give this prize.
And the winner
is also Zibas.
Did I know that? Wait, you give her the prize. Sorry. I'm just holding it for you. Congratulations. I don't think I knew that they were getting 2 prizes, but congratulations. I'll take that. Mariana, you want?
Yep, I can let you know who the next one is. So up next is Ukrainian Tech. It seems to be on our list up there. I better get away from the speakers. That's right. And to hand out...
So the vice president couldn't be here, but we have a member of his cabinet, Virginie. Thank you for stepping in. How's the vice president?
the vice president as well, but is very sorry to not be here. You know how much he cares about the prize.
I do.
So this category is obviously political. It's not easy to foster innovation when you have to face war, but a lot of companies are still making progress, and we wanted to award here a company with helping with digitalization. So that SMEs can export in a more friendly, ecologically friendly way. And therefore, I hope I pronounce it right. We are giving the prize to ETEU.
And they'll correct you if needed. And here they are. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Fantastic.
Who's next?
So, up next is an award for female entrepreneur. And to hand out this prize, I'd like to call upon Vanessa Govey, the Chief Innovation Officer of.
Thank you very much. I'm very proud to award that prize because it's a category that is really close to my heart. Gender balance, we mentioned it. We are not so many women in this industry, so really proud to award that prize. And we believe in events that to build a more sustainable world, it will go through changing our habits and being able to adopt more sustainable behaviors. And that's why we decided to select Nudged as the winner of that prize. I hope I pronounced it correctly. Congratulations.
May I just take this opportunity and say a lot of thank you for recognizing female entrepreneurship, but also to say that this is actually an award not for me, it's for my entire team. Because we work with behavioral change and addressing unconscious biases every day. So by using nudging towards more sustainable travel habits. And I hope that this award could also be a nudge towards unconscious biases for female entrepreneurs. And my hope is that in a few years, we won't even need a special category for female entrepreneurs.
Amen.
Thank you.
Congratulations. The next one is the award in.
I believe corporate mobility and intermodality.
That's why I need you here.
That's right.
And it's going to be presented by once again Groupe ADP, Alban. Thank you for joining.
So this award, as I said earlier, is about how do we reduce 80% of our emission scope? How do we make sure that we reduce the share of people coming to the airport with their vehicles? So for passengers, we can, for instance, what we are doing, making sure they're checking their luggage in town so that they can be hands-free and they can take the metro, for instance, in 2024 to go to Orly Airport, which will be available. For our employees, part of them, they can work from home when it's possible, but for most of them, they have to come to the airport every day. And that's why we are very happy to award WorkRide as a solution for corporate shuttle service. Intelligent, smart, very intuitive for all our employees and the partners working on our airport.
Thank you very much. Let's invite them on stage. Here's the.
Yeah, congratulations. So moving on to our next special prize. That is for zero emission vehicles. And to hand out this prize, let's get Martin Bourgeat.
Martin Bourgeat, Secretary of the European Clean Trucks Alliance.
Well, please just allow me to say a quick word because we are also one of the proud family member actually of the prize this year. For those who don't know us, we are a coalition of logistic companies that are ambitious and want to move to zero emission trucks, and a lot of them are already starting that. And we talk about major companies in the consumer goods, retail, but also smaller hauliers. So really, there is a lot of ambition. Unfortunately, there is an ambitious EU framework which is being put and being established at the moment. But for that, we also need actually economic players to really do the change and do the shift and work on that. And I think the winner of of this special prize at least, is really doing that. It is helping companies to move and to electrify their fleet. So that's why I'm very happy to hand over the prize to Nelson.
Fantastic. So, congratulations to this winner. And up next, we go to sustainable passenger experience and operational excellence. And for that, let's call upon, oh dear, I hope I'm pronouncing the name correctly, Jaël Barbery, responsible for the startup program at RATP.
Hello, everyone. So maybe some of you know the RATP group. We are one of the 3 top leading company in mobility business worldwide, and as such, we are highly involved in different topics such as predictive maintenance, supervision, and real-time activation. And that's why we have decided to award our special prize to a very young and promising startup that made real-time data its core business, and the startup is PopSync.
So
Congratulations. And our next category is Scale Up.
Scale Up.
And we're
Yes.
inviting Vice President of the European Investment Bank to come and announce the prize in the Scale Up category. Vice President, here's the prize.
Once again, a great honor and pleasure to give this very important Scale Up award for the second time, I've understood. It was very, very difficult because we have a lot of good companies that were in the race for this very important prize. But unfortunately, only one can win this prize for this year, of course. And the prize goes to Electra, the company that is very active in charging electric vehicles. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Electra. Please come join us on stage.
And the other candidates can also come to the bank, of course, because we provide and so on and so on.
I should mention that we're doing a demo day for the startups with your colleagues. So. Yeah. Congratulations. No, they're having their moment. They're taking a picture. Meanwhile, these guys are going crazy because they want to know who are the top 4.
Well, you know,
A
good
few
things
more
come to
minutes.
those who wait.
Next category
is fintech for mobility.
And we're inviting, once again, CEO Giacomo Carelli from Crédit Agricole Auto Bank.
So very difficult choice, many contenders, and I have to say that the company won the award is a digital motor assistance company that is innovating a lot in the digital arena. They are serving the industry not only for OEMs, so automotive manufacturers, but also for daily rental companies, completely changing the landscape of roadside assistant repair and maintenance. I also want to say that this company has a turnover in 2023, and congratulations for that, 2.5 million euro, and has raised funds for 8 million so far. Is active in France, Italy, and Spain. And as every other startup dealing with mobility, we are glad as Crédit Agricole Autobank and Rivalia to listen, to talk to them, to do together proof of concept and scale up the great idea. So the award goes to Helpy.
Congratulations. 3 more to go before we find our final scores. And our next one is the category of Digital and Green Whale, and that's awarded by no other than Europe's Rail.
Thank you very much. Hello again, everyone. So, well, it was not that easy choice also for Europe's Rail this year, and I'm very happy. Please challenge us. It means that more of you startups are really working together to make rail a better and more sustainable transport future. And the focus of this year was digital and green mobility. And there is a startup that doesn't need to be introduced because by chance is a startup that you have already heard before and will help us really to introduce digitalization at another speed in railways, will help us also to reduce the cost of railways, will help us to make sure that the railways are more available to you, customer. So,
and the winner
is Rail with AI.
Okay, that means you're going home with at least 2 prizes, to be seen which ones.
All right. Up next is a special prize for circular mobility. And for that, we're going to call upon the Executive Director for Transport and Industry at the European Climate Foundation, Karima Delli.
Thank you. I want to congratulate the prize for it being in its 5th year anniversary this year. At the European Climate Foundation, we're also celebrating our 15th year anniversary, and we have, over that period, supported thousands of climate projects on both on industry and mobility. What I'd like to say is that the prize today not only is a prize to green entrepreneurialism, but it's also a prize to the policies that underpin what's going on and the success that we are achieving in the progress we're making under the European Green Deal. And we have a challenge in the next 4 years in the mandate of the new Commission, and which is developing an industrial policy that can not only deliver in terms of decarbonization, but also in terms of jobs, in terms of investment, in terms of strategic autonomy, and in terms of other things. So, which brings me to SMEs. SMEs are perhaps not an easy road ahead for SMEs. I feel we will need the investment to make it happen. We will need easier access to finance. We will need easier access to procedures, to access skills and training. And therefore, I'm very, very happy that the winner on this category is Lowy, because it's a company that represents
Lowy.
It represents what we really need, which is basically a company has taken the challenge of taking used electric bicycles and putting them back on the road by refurbishing them. So please, Lowy, that's all.
Congratulations. Being recognized by European Climate Foundation is quite a distinction. And your last category, Mariana?
It is.
Well, I should say that there's one more that we're not going to do on stage because they're simply not here. but there is a 13th one. But let's finish with the 12th one.
Exactly. So that is the Digital Highways Infrastructure category. And to hand out this award, we'd like to call upon Daria Guran from Die Autobahn.
Okay, so there's a bit, you can do it together. Alpha and Daria, if there's confusion who's doing it, why don't you both come on stage?
Okay, so both of you?
Because Daria had her flights rearranged. She wasn't, we weren't sure until the last minute you were going to be with us now. So thank you for staying.
Yeah, that one is on me. I had a flight. I re-changed my mind and to stay here longer with you this evening. So this is why we challenged the team of you, Dan.
We're into challenges. That's what we do.
But we're proud to announce the winning team in the category of sustainable digital highway infrastructure. A startup which has, just give me a second, made it their aim to build safe life of buildings and bridges through intelligent use of data. They built the bridge between real construction and also intelligent use of data management. And as this is our main business, building bridges, we do ask
for this kind of innovation from Irmos. Congratulations.
Irmos. I'm squeezing in. Quickly.
So I would like to thank the
Academy. No,
the Academy, everybody, the Autobahn, very much for the trust. This is a very big honor for us. I just want to say very shortly that every second bridge in Europe has exceeded its expiration date and becomes older every day. We cannot afford replacing all of them, and this would be environmentally disastrous. Same time, maintenance relies on inspections that are subjective, time-consuming, and inconclusive. We have no clue when or where the next collapse will be, and we must use every byte of data that can make our bridges safer and more sustainable. And this is exactly what we do. We combine low-cost sensors with intelligent algorithms, and so we maximize the safe life of bridges. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Congratulations.
So congratulations to all of our award winners in these special categories. Some really fantastic and creative and very, very innovative startups indeed.
And I'm being told that we actually know who the 4 gold award winners are. I don't know who they are yet, but before, I'm told, nobody told me so far, it should be on my scripts at some point. But before we go into announcing the winners, maybe we take a moment just to discuss what it is that they're actually going to win, all 10 and the top 4. And for this, I'd like to invite our co-founder, David Schwartz, CEO of VID, and Eric Kirstetter, Senior Partner at Roland Berger. Hi, David.
Thank you.
Please join me as well. And maybe I start with you, David. So the 10 sitting over there are our winners. What are they going to win? What are they going to do next?
Yeah, this is almost the final cut and the last round.
Suspense.
Yeah, suspense. But just before that, just a few words. First, if I may, in a few minutes, in 2 minutes max, let me say again how happy and how proud we are as co-founder. And I would like to thank you, Karima, again for launching it. That was 5 years ago. 5 years ago, most of you remember. And now we're here at the European Parliament. Thank you again, because it was also your idea. You said we were gonna make it here, and that's why you're here today. You don't know VID, but in 2 words, if you don't know VID, sorry, in 2 words, we are the investment fund and the business accelerator of Mobivia, the #1 company for car maintenance in Europe and for mobility solutions in Europe. As a co-founder, we're working hard with you, with all the teams and all the partners in ensuring sourcing, evaluation, and selection of the startups. It has been 3 crazy months, and now 7, and we can be very proud, 700 applicants. The gender ratio at more than 30%, around the 700, and more than 50% now in the top 50, in the top 10. So it's a long way. After 5 years, I think we can be very, very proud of that. 20 partners, 100 evaluators. It's amazing. It's the best and greatest edition ever. We have to do better in the future, and we'll do better in the future. And now,
you always do it on stage, putting the KPI.
Yeah, I said
thank you.
1,000 startups. We have only 700. But we had 500 before. So let's say it's not so bad. Now, what's next for the winning startups? We are happy to launch the acceleration program. This is not new, but it's much bigger, and it will provide to the top 50, the top 10, and the top 4 startups new insights and new inputs, new programs. The idea was to, of course, provide funding, but not only funding. The idea was also to work on European market expansion, to make you become European champions. And for the top 10, the top 50, I think most of them can truly become European champions. It might take a couple of years, it might take 5 or 10 years. This is not the point or the question. This is just the goal and how to make it happen. And we will make it happen. It will work because we have the partners, because we have this ecosystem and this network effect. And last but not least, the acceleration program is also mentoring opportunities. We are providing successful entrepreneurs, experts from the partners, from the network, all over Europe. They will come and they will bring their expertise and their support and share their experiences with the startups. For the top 50, at the end of January, so it's a 3-month program, at the end of the 3 months, we will have a unique demo day. A big demo day for 50 startups. That's also the first time we're going to do that. And for the first time, they will have opportunity to pitch, of course, in front of the partners, but also in front of almost, this is the next target, 100 VCs and corporates. If we have only 70, that's going to be good, but let's target 100.
Your own team and not us. So
no, we're going to work on it. And my team knows that this is now the target, the goal, and the challenge. And of course, we're going to make it happen for them to collect funding, but also to find business opportunities. I'd like also to say that thanks to the partners and the special prizes, we will have opportunities, and you said it for some of you in front of us, to have POCs, to have business partnerships, expansion here and there. This is tremendous. This is probably the best thing we can do for the startups. We are used to bring visibility. Your manifesto is just unique in Europe and the world. But thanks to this program and let's make it happen now, we will have a true network and a true ecosystem effect. And that's exactly what the partners and what the startups and what the ecosystem need. And that was our dream at VID 10 years ago, and now we are making it happen at European scale. And last but not least, we have Roland Berger with us.
So just before we pass to what the top 4 are getting, I just want to recap. So
yes.
Visibility, we're here now when we're being seen.
And we're going to go in Helsinki.
Exactly.
We're going to go to Lisbon.
We're going on a tour of major
Web
tech
Summit.
events where the startups will get.
And the startups going to be there with us.
You mentioned the manifesto. For those who don't know, that's our way of crowdsourcing policy ideas of the startups, suggesting them to EU institutions what they need from the EU to do for them to succeed. And this year we're going to focus on European elections.
Absolutely.
So that's the manifesto. So there's visibility, the investment opportunities, policy, crowdsourcing, funding, your own acceleration program, the mentoring that you do with your team. And on top of that, the cherry on the cake.
It's the Roland Berger effect.
Roland Berger effect for the top 4. What are you going to do with the top 4 that we're about to announce?
So congratulations to all of you that have reached this challenge to be there today among 700 people. For the top 4, as a strategic consulting company, we are going to support you to grow. And we will dedicate to each of the 4 winners one director of Roland Berger to help to find solutions for you, with you, depending on where you stand. Refining your understanding of selected markets where you want to grow. Refining your offers depending on the specificities of those markets. Help you to accelerate your go-to-market, because we know that speed is everything when we are a startup, and also help you to scale your delivery because after the bright ideas you have presented today, you need to operate and to execute fast and seamlessly to manage your cost also. So depending on your needs, we will help you to tackle those 4 challenges. And I'm sure that together, with all the support of Via ID, you will find the next stage and help Europe to succeed in the mobility challenge.
Thank you very much. So basically, we'll give you a voucher. You'll decide how you want to spend it, which level of expertise, if you want to get more hours of somebody more junior or less hours of somebody more. And then you squeeze the most out of them, get the best advice you can. But now that we got them all drooling over wanting to get this nice voucher with the Ronald Burger, we need to announce who the 4 winners are. So for this, I'd like to thank Eric and David.
So now is
Anna, you can join me back.
Absolutely. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Eric.
Eric and
Thank you.
David. And it's
I'm being told that the winners are here. I can't find them. So I hope you know who the winners are. Just to clarify, we're going to split them into the 6 silver winner awards and the 4 gold awards. So they're all winners, as you said before, but 6 are going to now get their silver awards and 4 will get the gold awards from Karima in a moment.
exactly.
How are we doing this?
So are we ready for our 6 silver startups, beginning with
And they're not in any order, right?
not in any particular
Not in
order,
any order.
but they do get a little prize. That we're ready with that as well. So the first silver startup is Anywhere.
Congratulations. And this is your award.
So
Stay with us.
stay with us. Yeah, don't go anywhere. So the next silver startup is Clearly.
Congratulations. Please stay with us as well.
Congratulations. All right. And the next is Me Energy.
Thank you. Congratulations. Wait, in front so that the camera can see it.
Congratulations.
So this is 3 out of 6, right?
3 out of
3 more to go.
Okay, next is Wanda.
Congratulations. This is yours. You're tall in Scandinavia.
All right, congratulations. And the next silver winner is Ellen Road.
Congratulations. Okay, now it is no longer secret who the gold winners are, but
Well,
Karima.
there's one more.
I'm sorry, there's one more.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I didn't say anything. Go on.
So, and then we have About Energy.
About Energy. Okay, and now it's clear who the
Now,
Congratulations. You can look over there. Just hold it.
so the ones that are still sitting,
Karima Delli, we need you back on stage, please.
you call upon the
4
4 that are
gold
still
winners.
the white chairs in the green room, but they are the 4.
Okay, let's get Karima first and then invite them one by one.
All right. So please join us on stage, C2A Security.
And this is the first gold winner award, Karima, that you're going to.
Okay.
Mazal tov.
Congratulations. You are for you. Right. The second gold.
Second gold winner is Railway.
Railway. Do you remember why you are here? Can you explain?
Yeah, I can explain. Actually, I met for the first time at Propulse, which was an innovation contest in France. And Karima told me, you should apply for the European Startup Prize for Mobility. So thank you.
I just want to say Karima was not involved in the selection. It was all completely independent and transparent.
But thank you anyway.
You should prepare me before saying things like that. Congratulations.
All right. And now please come to the stage, Stellar.
Congratulations, really. Right, for you.
And hold it like this so your brand is showing.
Absolutely. I'd like to say just a few words and just to tell you that this prize is the prize of the Stellar team. Thank you, team.
There's still one guy sitting, which is not okay.
But not the least.
Vapaus, come to the stage.
Congratulations, really. Here you are.
Thank you.
Thank you too.
All right. Thank you very much. I'm just blown away right now. I don't know anything to say. Thank you so much.
Finished expression of emotions. Congratulations. Should we invite everybody now? All the partners, all the winners.
Yeah, come on up. So
all the partners, the winners, please join us on stage. Should we do quelque chose? Okay, Mariana. Thank you.
Partner.
Well, let's go. So come on.
Do the family picture.
The family picture. Come on, you are the winner. Okay. Come on. Okay.
So once everybody gets on stage,
the vice president.
Let us thank.
All right. So as everybody's making their way to the stage, thank you, jury members, evaluators, partners, the 700 startups who applied for this from all across Europe.
Absolutely.
And of course, our media partner,
Brussels Times.
To everybody watching virtually the live stream. And Dan, always a pleasure.
Yes, pleasure is all mine. Thank you, Mariana, for joining this very fast ride towards smart, sustainable mobility. Please mark your calendar already for the 6th edition.
Oh, I will.
If you're here in Parliament with us, we'll now invite you for a cocktail upstairs. If you've been watching us online, our broadcast ends here, but you can still share this video with your friends on social media. Help us bring this clean innovation message to more people. Have a wonderful evening and see you all at the 6th edition of the European Startup Prize for Mobility.
Hey,
There we
thanks,
go.
everybody.
Woo!